CrackBerry.com.
Hey guys, Adam here for CrackBerry. Today we are going to take a quick look at BlackBerry Maps running on the Z10. I'm just going to go over the options and such real quick before we head out. I'm actually heading into the CrackBerry HQ in New York today, so we're going to give it a real world test run. We're just going to go over the options and stuff real quick. So when you fire up BlackBerry Maps, this is what you're going to get. If you have your location services on, your GPS, it's going to pinpoint your location there, and you can scroll around and just use this as a map, hence the name, BlackBerry Maps. And then over here you have your saved places. So if you have, your work address, home address, anything like that saved, or that you frequent, you can save them in here and they'll be in a whole list. And then you also have your contacts tab. So, if you have your addresses tied in with your contacts, you're going to your girlfriend's house or whatever, maybe you can just tap in there and punch it in and bring them up. But for today, we're going to go over here. And in the search box, you can tap up here to search, but you can see we already have a bunch of recents saved here. So CBHQ is right up top there. So once you plug it in, it's going to give you a quick search. You can type in the name of places, just punch in the address, street number, and all that. So once it finds it, it's going to pull it up here, and you can see it's already digging the map out on the bottom, but it's going to pinpoint it there. And then if we go ahead, and you hit the start button there, it's going to bring it up and give you the navigation, and it's telling me that it's getting the route. And then we'd hit start down here, and it's going to fire up the driving directions in a second. Since I'm inside, it's a little slow, but it's not bad once you're out in the open. So it actually might not even pick it up. But you can see up top there, it's got the your ETA, so total travel time, and then the mileage on the side. And if we go over here, you can see we can check out a list view of all the maneuvers. So it'll kind of give you a breakdown of all the steps for your trip. And then you can switch here to the overview map, which it's still in because it didn't actually kick in and just told me it couldn't find the GPS there, which is obvious, but we'll get around that in a minute. And then in your settings, you have your units of measure. You have night mode, so you can toggle that to automatic, which most people will do, or you can switch it on and off. That just gives you the brighter or darker screen. You have your route options, fastest, shortest, simplest, and then you can choose to avoid highways, toll roads, ferries, things like that. Your navigation audio, you can put either the voice guidance or just a tone. So with the voice guidance, it tells you turn left at the next street or whatever it may be, or the tone where it just kind of beeps at you when your maneuvers are coming up. And then last but not least, down here is clear history. So that'll just clear out all your recent searches and your navigation history. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take my Z10 and jump in my car, and we're gonna venture out. So we'll give a little real world test. So hang tight. So we're rolling now, and so you can see it picked up right away, and it's giving me my turn by turn. I don't know if you can really hear it, but it's good. It's got the, my next maneuver, I guess you could call it, laid out. It's showing me that I'm going to need to make a left turn, and then the route here is highlighted in purple. It's still got the travel time and the distance, which I like down the bottom there. I have a regular Garmin Nuvi, I guess, that I use in my car as my GPS, and the one thing I don't like is that it shows the destination, the time, the arrival time, but it doesn't actually show the trip time or the mileage. So it's cool that on BlackBerry Maps it has that all laid out for you, so it's pretty sweet. But overall, like I said, it's a really cool app. So I'm not gonna mess around too much while I'm driving here, but we'll keep cruising for a little bit. So we can see here, pretty much straightforward. So I have still my layout and everything. I have a maneuver coming up here. I'm at a light where I have to turn. But again, if we want to jump out and say we want to change our volume around or something like that, we can do that, and then jump back in, and it's still gonna pick right up. It's cool because there's no hitches, so it's again the true multitasking on the Z10. So
keep to the right. Landing road.
And there it's giving you the directions, and here again we can see if we need to pick up any of our maneuvers or anything, so you can see what turns are coming up, kind of what route you have to take. It's good, and it kind of tracks along. So if we give it a little swipe there, and again we can jump in and out of other applications, and then jump back into it, and it's just going to pick up right where we left off. So, all right, so we're still cruising along here. I stopped there for a second to fire up the camera again, but as you can see, we're moving along, getting ever so close to my destination. If you look down the bottom there, you can see how it's yellowed out for the travel time. So that's based on the traffic, and you can see over here we have, if we tap that to go into our list, again, you can see this one. I don't know if you can read it, but there's it's just showing a little traffic delay in red, which is cool. So it gives you, you know, kind of those constant updates, and it keeps everything updated as far as traffic and things like that. And what I do like here on I have my Garmin GPS going at the same time, and that's giving me an estimated time of 11:05, which is about 14 minutes from now. And on here, it's giving me, you know, a much higher time of 29 minutes because it's factoring in the traffic and everything. Granted, I have an older GPS, my Garmin one, so it doesn't have the live traffic data or anything like that. You know, it's just kind of an example that it's great to have the, you know, the live action of BlackBerry Maps where it's got the traffic and everything factored in. So you can see here we're coming up on the tunnel. I'm probably going to sign off shortly so I don't go crazy trying to film in the streets of Manhattan, but we're pulling up here. You can see I've got the green light for go ahead, so there's no traffic rolling down here. I got about, I don't know, I can't see it, 17 minutes left till my destination. My next maneuver coming up is the tunnel. I like the little tunnel icon they give you there. So you can see we're kind of looping around, going underwater through the tunnel, which is fun. But overall, I mean, BlackBerry Maps, it's pretty sweet on BlackBerry 10. It's definitely come a long way from the older versions, you know, of BlackBerry Maps and BlackBerry Traffic. It's powered by TomTom at the core, so it's kind of this, you know, more robust app. There's not a whole lot of features, but I wouldn't say that it's really lacking anything. You know, everything you need to be there is there, and it's overall pretty great. It can definitely serve as a replacement for your standalone GPS if you're looking for that. You know, and it's cool because you're always going to have your phone on you, so whether you travel and things like that, you know, you can fire it up in the car. Even if you don't have a dock, you know, you can always kind of find some place to stick your phone if you need to get around quick, where you'll have your GPS there and all your addresses and everything are saved in it. So if you're going on a business trip and you're going to need to get someplace, you know, you can go ahead and search for your address ahead of time, save it in your favorites, and then it cuts down on the time, you know, after the fact when you're trying to navigate around if you get someplace. So overall, you know, it gets 2 thumbs up from Adam. It's definitely a great app, and I recommend playing around with it. Country driving, city driving, highways, wherever you are. You know, I haven't had any issues. The only problems I've found, to a certain extent, are things like this. You know, where if you're jumping into the city, you might run into some issues where you know, your service drops out if you have tall buildings, or your cell service kind of craps out or anything like that. So, but overall, definitely give it 2 thumbs up. So that is it. That is BlackBerry Maps on the Z10. I'm rolling through the tunnel. I don't know, you can probably tell it got super loud. And we're just about to CrackBerry HQ once we get outside here. So I'm going to sign off for now so I don't cause any traffic accidents in the name of CrackBerry. Adam out.